It's Asian session coming into Wednesday. It's kind of like over for halfway over the week, but a lot of range trading seems to me. I'm running the 15-minute chart with the fractals because I was playing around with a breakout bot that actually trades the Williams fractal breakout as opposed to using it as a reversal tool and trading a reversal there. So the nice thing about the fractal is you can either trade against it or with it. On the smaller time frames, you're probably gonna if you strictly took each breakout, you might get trapped. So the 15-minute looks like a better reversal thing where you're looking for a lonely fractal that's like way out here in Disneyland. And this would be an infrequently trading system. So I just got done watching the Magic Trader. I don't know if you're familiar with the Magic Trader. Has all these, it's kind of like no nonsense meets ICT meets supply. Sam Seidel, the guy that talks about supply and demand, but you never see him trade. So this guy's claiming he's making 90 grand at least a year. Great. But I don't know why you're charging $170 a month for your, this is my newsletter. I guess if you're into that shit, right? It's like fake news. Paying for fake news. I mean, dude, you don't even have a trade plan. I never see you trade. I mean, talk about trading. Oh, if it don't come down here, I'll definitely buy it. But not for the scalp, because I'm just too good for this. Just the scalp off. No, I want the big trend. Yeah, I'm one of those people. You're one of those people, too, I can tell. Yeah, I'm looking for the optimal trade entry. Dude, there's no optimal trade entry. If you're trading all day long, babysitting the 15-minute chart, you're like, oh, yeah, there's a lot of optimal trade entries. And, of course, you take every one of these trades. Do you trade them all the way into the supply and demand zones that go really deep back into the previous day? Just the ones from the previous day. Whether it's market profile level 2 or bozo bananics, it doesn't matter. But to say things like Mark Douglas is never traded or he didn't trade professionally, or he couldn't see, that doesn't matter. That's not what it was about. And when he said there was a random outcome, he meant that it was a random outcome to each trade. Not that you can't kind of predict what's going to go on if you can't see the hole that the market's about to fall into. So when the Swiss franc was depegged, just the idea of depegging something, it's kind of what they did to oil, right? It became a free market. Notice the young guy that stepped in. It wasn't an oil war. It was a free market. They opened the markets. The cartel's gone. It's just fucking, here you go. You want it? It's fucking taking up space in my garage. Yeah, no shit. But then people want to regulate it. Yeah, I bet they want to regulate it. Let me be the guy that owns all the oil. Yeah, you regulate it now, right? Now the oil reserves are all filled up. Yeah, I'm going to go right back to fucking normal. So, the new normal. Sorry. But that's what's going, right? That's where we're going. So the next step in this thing is going to be stabilization. People are going to work from their house. I don't know why they didn't before. All these tree-hugging son of a cunts were like, oh my God, oh, the sky's falling. This Greta Thundick that's gone tour. What the fuck's up with that bitch, right? I mean, who died? Just because you're young and female, what was supposed to pay attention to you, I guess. I guess that's like the kind of the genetic, thing that people praise, right? Good for them, right? But if you just want to kill yourself every minute, that's a completely different situation. But here I would buy at the market right now in this 15-minute chart. No questions asked, buy at the market, right? Because it went down for fucking a half hour. Dude, just buy it. Just fucking buy it. And if I see another motherfucker do a goddamn video where he doesn't take that trade, dude, just take the trade. Come on. Oh, you're on the chart right now. It's live. You're streaming. Just take the trade. Oh, no. I'm waiting for my 618. Are you now? Dude, this is the last bitch on the planet. You're stuck. That's, on the planet. Turns out she was right. She's the only chick left. Oh, just take the trade. And you know what? Put a limit in below. Just buy at the market. because you think it's going up, and then just put a limit below. You're selling because you think it's going down. Sell it. Put a limit in above. I'd say if you could do that psychologically, that is the core of it. The execution is the psychology. You don't have to read fucking, oh, I took his 13 day. Yeah, dude, it's execution. You know, you didn't get the Mark Douglas fucking script. It's execution. It's just about pulling the fucking trigger and going, I don't know if this is going to work out. But no, I got to be certain. What are the banks doing? Commitment of traders, supply and demand. You should hear this guy talk about, what the fuck? You're not even calling out the size or nothing on these trades. Or where's your stop? So I'm trolling him, and he finally says, of course, he's like, I ask him, well, what trade are you in right now? Or what's the trade? What's the next trade? I can tell you the next trade. I can't tell you if it's going to work out, but I got 80 fucking tickets in there. I got 160 tickets in there. I don't give a fuck if some of them don't work out. Dude, not every lick you play on the guitar, I don't care who the fuck you are. There's a problem on some of these licks. You can't say that every fucking note you hit is pristine. Well, maybe on piano, right? Because piano has this attack that's built into the mechanism. But if you're playing guitar, there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to execute without dropping your guitar pick. If you're playing with a guitar pick, I mean, but God, to make it sound like, well, you know, the banks are going to trick you. They're going to trick you into that trade because, yeah, the market went up. Yeah, because you're chasing it. Yeah, you're the one with that mindset. But not people that figured out the market's going to go up and down. All you got to do is put your sell limits above and your buy limits below. Of course, you're not going to put 40 standard lots in an account with $1,000 spaced 1 pip apart. Are you fucking nuts? It's like telling me that it's bad to drive a car because, you know, this one here will go 180 miles an hour. Oh, will it now? So you're just going to go flat out? So, I mean, duh, you know, so it's about, yeah, here it got first gear. Here, like a trucker's gear. 80 gearbox, right? You don't have to put the whole fucking trade on. The fuck is this shit with the, oh God, I gotta get it just right. Why? I mean, there's no fucking way. The market's completely chaotic random. You could tell me all day long, well, I knew it was going to see, I told you it was going to, look, it's going up right now. What the fuck? I'm right. Look at me. I only bought because it went down to the previous top in time. And the guy's got this, he sends me, the only reason I'm ragging on this guy is he sent me this fucking email from his White Ridge, Oak Ridge trading thing. So he sells a newsletter or something. Well, dude, go for it. But don't, he's like, well, you must just be an ignorant person. Yeah, I know. Well, learn me. Learn me, damn it. Make me trade like a goober. Commitment of traders. How in the fuck are you getting your trades situated with that shit in your head? Well, you know, the commitment of traders says, and, you know, news is coming out, and I got another excuse. Wait a minute. I got another excuse. Yeah, well, Jethro, you know, next door. You know the guy next door that drinks. Yeah, the one that beat his wife. Yeah, that one. He says we shouldn't take that trade because he was just over in Canada. He was talking to some Japanese people and we're trading the cat. Yeah, goddamn it. Can't see what's going on here. Dude, that explain everything. So I have to explain everything to you. Why we take these trades, when we do them in Asia like this when it's quiet. Asian trader. I mean, if I wanted to make money, in a comical sense, it'd be worth it, right? Meet a guy that there's a personality for each currency pair, right? So you have people that are just like, you know, split language, Japanese, but everything ends in an A. A? So I got my infamous ATR histogram at the bottom there. Bar by bar, we got a 20 pip slam there in 15 minutes on CAD yen. How about that trade? And then you could tell me all day long how this is a double top here, you see. Or you could tell me this one, this actually, it's what really is happening over time here on the 15, right? Let's not deny that there is this bottom becoming a double top here, right? That's for real. It happens. Those setups do happen. But does that mean that we should sell there? And if we did, where would we get out? I'd say your first conservative exit is going to get out where you know the buyers are coming back in, which is here. Right? Now, we all can see this trade, how simple this trade is. Next thing is, how big is that? How many tickets is that? One ticket. Let's just assume one ticket, right? Goober trading. Goobernomics. We put a stop in there of X. Is our, to survive that trade with that size wick, our target, that's a break-even trade. Is that really great? So that right there, you're forced to scale in and out. And that's another thing. Scaling in and out is what Mark Douglas talks about. 3 tickets. You got one to pay for the commissions. You got one that's going to pay for kind of like padding the account. And the other one's going to be enough of a money where you're actually in profits. 45%. Like this guy is claiming 45% he makes on his portfolio every year. So, and I don't know, you could make, today I think I'm doing this 1 hour, this $1,000 challenge here with my scripts. I'm already up $700. So I don't know what that percentage is. But, I mean, I don't know why these people that are making $100,000 a year are fucking find the time to make videos. I guess they're making money there too. God knows what, But to say, well, you see my report here on commitment of traders, and to make, how are you helping people? You never even fucking show how to do a setup on it or what to do with the market. This 15-minute chart, you got to fucking trade it at the market. You got to babysit and go, it's down, buying, it's down, buying. I mean, how in the fuck? Now, you don't have to do that. But for you to what's the point of the 15-minute chart then? Just go to the fucking, here, go to the, I don't get so pissed off. Go to the 1 hour chart. There's less trades. So here's the fade the fractal. Williams fade the, I'm using the Williams 5 turn. It needs 5 bars to get one of these diamonds. 3 bars up, 3 bars down. And so if I buy, of course, unfortunately, Williams did not put a fractal in here because I think this is like where you really should start. I'm looking back to see how we trade the future here. I'm just going to show you how it would work in a bad scenario. If you get the size wrong on this thing, you're going to have a problem. So let's fade the fractal on the 1 hour chart because I think it makes more money than if we traded the Williams way, which is you trade a breakout. Because they keep trapping, they keep just torturing anybody that trades a Williams fractal. Because the rule is that when it takes out one of these highs, you go long. Okay, but it's like you're already overpaying. It's the highest point. It's confirmation goober entry. That's another thing this guy's talking about is like, well, we wait till the banks move the market and then you jump on the train. Which door are they going to go out? He does this thing. You're in a room. I got you. You're in a room. It's like, here's one door. I'm sorry. Like for him, it's like, here's one door and here's the other door. Okay, no. The banks are going to take that out one of those doors and, hey, they're going to fake you out and think, because this is the original room. Let me go to the original room. In this kind of picture of the world. The original room's here. Low volatility. Right, we don't get this spike yet. So here we've got the volatility's banging against this. It's up in this thing. And structurally speaking, from the 1 hour closing prices, we have the narrative is like this. This is support. We know there's buyers in here. And you could say this is a fake out. Like this is the door, another room that the bankers are in. It's so funny. There's no conspiracy. This isn't bankers in a room trying to trick you. Price comes down and there's nobody there. It's run out of buyers. It runs out of sellers. That's what makes it reverse. Everybody looks at each other and goes, I guess it's not going to move anymore. and it moves back the other way. It's not a secret. Everybody's watching it happen, aren't they? The hemming and hawing, and then it gets violent, and it does a topping formation. I mean, just bam, 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 and then it's done. Isn't it just so simple? It's just sick. It's disturbingly simple. Here's the trick, though. What's the difference between these two conditions? Asian session, right here. I'm going to go for the ultimate Asian session, the first 4 hours. Okay, so you established a range. We've established a range. Yeah, do you trade the range? Is it worth it to you? Now, here's a big question. The spread's pretty lousy. 1.7 pips. This broker's pretty lousy, but maybe it gets better. But is this enough for you to make, like, can you make money off of this move? Bing, 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 bing on the 1 hour chart. Or are you waiting for the big kahuna move, which would be, well, I'll just wait for them to break it out. When they run it up to here, they leave behind this hole. They leave a void where we haven't been. And each one of these 1 hour basements, as I call it, these bottom of the wick, bottom of the barrels, if we carry these forward, we find out these are really great places to buy, right? Because it's a deeper vacuum than this one. Well, actually, that doesn't exist anymore, so that's wrong. Just this exists, right? We see the market can't see these two because these have already backfilled. This is your first juicy buying opportunity, is to buy, and then here you would buy two positions because you have 2 bars, so it's a super deep vacuum. Maybe you got filled, maybe you didn't, because this is a terrible spread, right? That's a 100 pip grid there, so maybe you got filled. But let's go further. Let's trade at the market on the 1 hour chart. What is so wrong with, okay, you made the assumption, for whatever reason, you drew a trend line, you used a 20 EMA, you got a fucking Fibonacci butt plug. I don't know what the fuck. You think it's going up for some reason. And you're like, dude, I'm buying on pullbacks. Okay, gotcha. I wouldn't get all worried about, like, oh, it broke the trend line, but see, it did break the trend line. But that's a trend line that you drew. Okay, so another thing about trend lines. You're picking the rate of change here. You're saying the steepness of that. Like when it breaks this trend line, I'm selling. Okay, you would have been right if you could survive those wicks. You would have been right if you could have survived the wicks. All these things are true. I mean, you can say all these things. They really are true. But is this rate of change here? Is that move going to be like, can you handle that equity swing? Are you in big enough that you're going to make your 90 grand a year? If you put it here, you could say, well, I'm going to be conservative. I'm going to put my trend line here. I'm not asking a lot of the market. I'm not looking to make money fast. So I'm going to set it down like this. Okay. Could you say, well, you know, it broke the trend line, I'll sell. You would have been a fucking genius, right? Trend line on close, you'd be like, dude, it broke the trend line, confirmation. Now, this first break is a fake out, but it's really just a fake out. For the whole world, it only matters. The trend line is just an example of volatility. The steepness of the trend line is the momentum of that volatility on closing prices only for me. I wouldn't draw it on the wicks because it would be ridiculous. Plus, it just ruins the snapshot of price over time. But if you're going to trade this from this, oh, I'm breaking out of this room, this box, okay, this is breakout trading. He's doing breakout trading. He's saying, I'm going to wait for them to break it out. The fake out was here. The bank, the bank tricked me. They really wanted to go out that door. Gotcha, Sterling. I'll carry this forward. Does it matter? Yeah, it's going to matter. And when that window doesn't hold anymore, and the buyers do come in down here, but these are people that are buying all the way down because they know they're going to make this trade to the floor. All they had to do is lay limits in, and when they see it come back to here, they go, oh yeah. If they're up on that, they're getting out. And here comes the trend traders that drew their trend line on close, roughly around here. You know, they're coming in on that trade. Kind of breaks the trend line. You can't be that precise. You're talking about a few seconds to close out that candle. It's like 5 seconds before top of the hour. These line charts close out. So that's that. Yeah, the opening price is not. You could do opening price charts too, I suppose. But I like closing because you see where you're at in real time right now. But yeah, this is the ultimate sell. If you scrunch this chart down, you're like, oh God, what a fucking mess. But look at how much money is in there. Are you serious? Like, so as soon as you do this, you go, oh, I get you. It's Where's Waldo trades here. So the Williams fractal just proves the point that if you fade the fractal, say when it starts taking out these wicks, are you going to be a seller and think that it's going to keep tanking? Or are you going to be a buyer? When it starts chunking through these wicks, are you going to trade that breakout and get trapped and keep just getting smashed and get your heart broke every time? I thought I was going to break out to the downside. Bankers tricked me again. They took it up. But when they take out this high, right, that's where the sellers come in. And this is what this guy's talking about. All these fucking people talk about. Sam Seiden, all these people, they know about that supply zone up there. Even my brothers know about it. You see guys put these trades on. They're so funny. They'll show that trade and they'll go, selling up in here. Selling up in here, and I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why, but I'm selling up in here. And then you just go, yeah, I can see why. And look at this. This is the pivot at the 100-yard line. This whole window, though. People just want to be so precise with that Fibonacci shit, dude. You just can't. And look at all this fucking shit. Sorry, kids. No, it looks like a mess, doesn't it? Like, how do you trade that? Well, you wouldn't trade it from a breakout standpoint. Would you get clobbered? You got to trade the limit style. And this other guy, the rumpled one. You can't. So the guy's on the 1 day chart, and he's going, yeah, dude, take the trade here. Yeah, take the trade there? How big? How long? How fat? What the fuck you talking about? Now, this is a nice trap here on the fade the fractal, breaks out that fractal. Let's fucking go the other way. I don't know. It's so pissed off watching these people. Dude, you got to fucking know how to trade that shit. Like, are you going to trade it or not? The Ryan bot's keeping this goddamn account alive. See, poor Ryan bot ran out of money. This account ran out. If it had 10 grand, I'd be at 20 grand right now. More money than this this magical trader. How about gold, man? Looks like it's ready to take another step up. Look at this weekly gold. Well, this would be a fundamental trade. Do you think there'll be any inflation with all the fucking shit going on? So yeah, even Bitcoin's going up. It's Bitcoin, metals, everything's inflation. Everything costs more. What are you gonna do, right? Everybody's chasing the money around. So yeah, I just watched that Rumple one guy. Couldn't take too much of it because I just thought, yeah, that's good. That's nice. I see what you're saying. Yeah, sure. Just go confirmation. Yeah, just go with the market. It's going up. Go. Bye. I've heard this from turtle traders. Turtle traders just keep buy high, sell higher. Gotcha. I gotcha. But when you're doing that in such big positions, can you see how that might be terribly wrong? Go terribly wrong on you. Like here you go, buy high, sell higher. Oh yeah, we took a drawdown. Buy high, sell. Oof, yeah. Then buy high, sell high. Oh, you really tell me you could ride this fucking punishment? If you're gonna stay in that trade till you see this move, you gonna tell me you ride that shit out? None of these guys talk about how you could really make money trading. How can you take $1,000? If you really know how to trade, you should be able to take $1,000 and make $200 a week. A month. I mean, even if you made $500 one month and lost $200 the next month, you could say you're making 50% a year. I guess it sounds like, oh yeah, I trade a lot more than that. Hey, dude, if you trade $100 million, you're making 45%. Great. You're on YouTube talking about Sam Seiden supply and demand zones. Everybody can talk about that shit forever. But it's a whole different thing to get in the one fucking position and just go, oh yeah, I'm with the banks, I saw my commitment to traders reports. No, you don't understand, man. Did you see what's going outside there with my Chinese neighbor and that Canadian bitch? What, you don't get what the trade I'm in? So, I don't know. That's why I guess I can't trade certain currency pairs. New Zealand, Swiss. Yeah, that sounds right. I can get my brain around that trade. Yeah, that's the first thing I saw forex. I go, do I have to care about these countries I'm trading? Like, and I do care. I care even about the newsletter people, the signal service. It's so adorable. Buy the British pound as it just stop hunts everybody on the planet. It's going to feel like a stop hunt if it's your stop. In other words, the market's just moving. Stop hunt just is a psychological condition of you're in a trade and you've got to stop and they're coming against you. The market's moving. It doesn't know you exist. It just feels like that. The feelings are really important. I notice Boeing's kind of struggling down here, but this is another situation where if you do trade stocks, just put a fucking order in down here. Say, well, I'm going to price it myself, goddammit. Say, I'll give you 60 or 50 all the way down. Put fucking, put one lots in. Well, you don't have $85? So just put in fucking, what, can you buy one share all the way down, peppered? Is that going to be a problem with how much they charge your broker? It refills like $5, even at that, right? Penny stock shit here. Look at this poor Boeing. But hey, man, come on. You think that thing's going down to zero? I don't know, maybe it is. Fucking Pan Am went to zero. I don't know if anybody remembers the old days. But Pan Am, I think I saw it for $5. Me and my buddy were going to buy it. We're like, that thing's coming back. How could Pan Am go away? Yeah, airlines are fragile anyways. All those fucking people checking your fucking shoes. Dude, I walked in mud before I would go to the airport. I always take off my shoes. They'll put them back on. We don't care if there's a bomb in your shoes. Put them back on. No, let this guy by. Even the dogs they have sniff you are like wincing. Dude, let this guy go, okay? I know what the sergeant said, but he's buying Boeing all the way down to $20 a share. Hey man, I know people are trading this shit. So I do like the idea of putting a limit order. Call your broker. Do a cancel replace a few times. You could put three positions in here. Even at what Scott trade, I don't know. They went to zero commissions, right? They just charge you the spread now. Like Bitcoin's getting so easy to trade that. There's an app for that stuff, and I'm just gonna warn anybody that's running this cash app. You just got to be careful, dude. There's no like, are you sure you want to do that button? I'm like, okay, dude, let's not do that. And so my almost legitimate friend says, you just put it back, right? I go, yeah, for a fee. Come on, how many times you got to churn your own account? So I'd say careful with the cash apps out there, people. No, the Android, I'm liking the Android, but I'm not. I'm just like, dude. At least with Windows, you had to put the floppy disk in. I mean, it's really hard to. So trading like that, right? You got to have the disk in there, and then you run scans and try to build models. It's trading models, Modeling never works, If modeling worked, dude, they'd model the future of the stock market. And somebody got to unleash some fucking massive multi-lot buying beast and let it just go. No, there's no robot can handle the punishment of the real world. It'd be like if you threw a volcano in front of your car. You built a car you think is great, and all of a sudden you're asked to jump a volcano, and then you're asked to go underwater, and you might do that 3 times a day or 3 times a year. So the market can do that 3 times a day or 3 times a year. And yeah, you can say, well, I got into this trade because of that. And I mean, it's just curious when people say these trades. I'm like, wow, like how are you doing that? I got to see that happen. Curiosity is the thing, right? So that's what brings most people into the game. Well, at least the game I figure of trading. But yeah, it's been quite the range, and the volatility is so brutal. I don't think people realize that it's still volatile. If you trade the euro dollar, we're talking about 80 pips in 8 hours up and down. Like, now it probably looks like no rhyme or reason, but I suspect people understand it just happens to be ranging in a really big range. And on the way from the top to the bottom, there is a trend on a certain time frame in a certain rate of change. There are these perfect trends that go from the reversal point when you completely run out of buyers or sellers, and the market's just like, that's not going to be a breakout. That is not a breakout. So there's 80% fake outs. Yeah, but to say that, well, the banks did that, well, okay, the institutions did that, and he even says on the one thing, oh, here's where the institutions were really very long. So they were all in. Yeah, they were all in. Okay, so, but that's typically where they say the retail guy got in because he was going to keep going and buying too. Well, then what's the difference between the institutional guy and a retail trader? Nothing. They're both in the same dumb shit trade. Just like you see people do with everything, right? So the people got to rebuild their business model to meet the new standard of, it reminds me of ISO 9000 days. A couple people crash cars. Oh, we gotta pay attention to what like a ruler looks like and a measurement. Oh shit. And I had a buddy that worked at a car industry, and he laughed at that because they had a piece of tape on the table that they were measuring with, and he goes, well, what about the thickness of tape? And the one guy's just like, let's not talk about this, okay? You don't talk about the guy behind the curtain. A little slop and everything's good, right? So that's why trading, it needs more slop in it, actually. It's not a very precise sport, I don't think. So I'm running this new demo here. And the broker that's offering half commissions off the Corona discount. You got to take advantage of this. I don't know how long it's going to last. Looks like crude oil's over. It's coming back. The cartels are coming back in. Or just the bureaucracy. The Dodd-Frank. So, looks like the whole world just went offshore. Just like I thought, there's more traffic now than there was before Corona. So, I drove today, and holy magoli, it was thick as a brick. And like crazy. All right, so we made it. We're up $600. I'm in a standard lot. 118,000. 118,000 euros. Pure euro. Pure long. So I took profits on that big rally today into the round number. I don't know, it was 880. Top become a bottom on the 30-minute euro. The floor became the top. We knew there were sellers there. So yeah, tops become bottoms, and the vacuums fill, and they retrace, and the markets go up and down, and it's crazy. And you can tell me that the tooth fairy is making this shit happen. I guess it's fine, right? That's what you need to make it okay to trade, I guess. Go for it. Who am I to say? I unleash my goober bot. Now this is the one I built, where it just keeps throwing limits and above and below, waiting for some shenanigans like this. Here's the Ryan bot selling in. So I got two robots running on here. I got the Ryan bot on top, and I got the Ryan bot on top. Yes, and later on I'll give a seminar on how to run the Ryan bot. How to, I should put a tighter grid on that, but. So I got my limit bot running on top, stacking up insane orders on top and bottom. And then the Ryan bot looks like it's selling into this big rally. And I did take profits on some of this stuff. But That's either here nor there. So I think it really depends what you're up for as far as how many pips you're trying to make. I look at this stuff. I don't really trade the pound, but if I had to, if you put a gun to my head, the 1 hour chart, right? So 1 hour chart looks like Ryan's selling into that. Then he cashes out. And I guess it's just how much he buys into it and he cashes out, see? So he's taking it off the table here. That whole trade that he martingaled into the downside here. So we kind of made back some money. We made about, with this account was down to $1,500 for a little bit. This is still the current one I'm posting. Although when I post the one I traded by myself with scripts only, it's completely different style trading, completely different results, and really your, I guess they call it discretionary trading, where this is rule-based. When a robot's doing it, a rule-based system, a mechanical trading system, would be run by a robot typically. I think you could out-trade a self-driving car. Like, I don't think they're going to have self-driving cars. Maybe they will. NASCAR self-driving cars, like some guy sitting there in a chair. He's just like, dude, I think I just won. He's got some high-end car out there that's able to do insane antics because there's nobody behind the wheel now, right? So he could just have some, I don't know. Is that legal? I guess all the people at the hospital, right? Keep the keep the surge to the hospital down. So do people feel betrayed? Oh, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to curve that. We keep that surge at the hospitals down. Here's your ventilators, and then the next thing you know, well, by the way, forgot to tell you. Yeah, it's a cookbook for people. Yeah, sorry. Gotta keep you at home. Gotta fatten you up. I'm gonna be chowing on you later. Eurodollar is down in the dumps. So all this guy's got all these. Oh, this and that. I don't know, man. I mean, I still don't get why it's $175 a month for your. I guess your report. You spent all the time putting it together. I gotcha. Look at this Ryan about trading the shit out of this thing. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. I love that. I turned this thing on. This is when I started trading this thing, and I think it's trading 5 pip grids. And maybe it would have done better if I just let it trade since you don't know. Right? It's like, do we quarantine you? Or do we let you out? We force you to play in traffic without a mask. How about this? If I do something really dangerous like parachute, can I go without the mask? How about if I parachute without a parachute? Will the mask save me? We need an all-in-one like a magic bag is what we need. Like Felix the cat. This thing, whatever you need. Look at the British pound. I would be buying that. That just went down for 8 hours. Who's not buying that? That's an obvious buy. In fact, I would have bought it at the last bar down. The 4-hour British pound. Can you trade the 4-hour British pound? I think if I had my robot run it or I was going to do it, I would say the safest place to put on a trade is when the volatility dries up. So here's a small bar. Here's a simple trade plan. You put a sell stop here. You put a buy stop here. And you just walk away. And you wake up Friday or wake up on Sunday, and they're coming into your target that I suppose you'd have to look at that in some kind of structure view, and you'd have to know that if they ever come down here, there's buyers galore. Because this is one of those Sam Scheiden supply zones. See, it could be a demand zone depending 2 years. I mean, I know this shit, dude. I'm not stupid, and neither is anybody else that reads these books. They're like, why aren't I making money? Because you got to get in consistently when the conditions are right for the breakout trade, right? You got to get in heavy with tight stops, and you could be wrong about the direction. You could have pure confirmation goober entries. Buy, stop, cancel, replace. Just hopefully it's obvious. When the market's quiet, you just keep trailing buy stops, buy stops, buy stops. You never get filled. But like a turtle trader, you keep getting filled on the south side, and you say, well, why don't I trade like that all the time? Because you can't trade like that on this wick. You can't put a buy stop here and a sell stop here and expect to make money. You got to wait till the market's quiet. Put a buy stop here and a sell stop here. You can tell me, oh, look, I got 5 made these money. Seriously? So you have to pick small bars for breakout systems, right? Breakout systems are activated during. You think there's not some guy that built a fucking Goober bot that put buy stop, sell stop, small bar, bigger position here, and then he just takes this much off the table. Here's a really ultra small bar. Everybody's in on that. The people that sold this little mini vac are in on that. And then all this hole, this supply that's starting to fill up. Oh my God. Once the prices pass through that area, hasn't anybody figured this out? Once the prices pass through that area, the game over. It's been satisfied. Whatever supply or demand's been building up here, whatever impacted, whatever compressed, whatever you want to call this vacuum, yeah, once it's filled up, it's over. But there's no guarantee that the market's going to do something after that you can even count on. Also, this other guy's magic trades. Well, then it's going to come up to here, and I probably only make it to here, and it's going to go to here. Are you fucking kidding me? You're guessing 3 steps ahead? Are you nuts? Have you ever seen the market move? It could do anything. It doesn't have to go up here, and then, it's going to come here, and it's going to go there. Are you fucking nuts? There's no way you're calling that shit. And even if you are, you mean to tell me you're going to take every one of those zigzags? You should take every one of the trades. In fact, you should know right now. He's like, well, Mark Douglas doesn't understand. He doesn't understand you can predict where the market's going. Great. You should be making 1,000%, not 45. The fact of the matter is that it's not about bankers, dude. It's just about price where it hasn't been. It hasn't been here. There's sellers there. There's sellers here, but he's not willing to take that trade because, these guys got targets like fucking harebrained, greedy targets like, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell here and I'm going to buy it back here. You see, that's how I trade. And I can be right 1 out of 8 times. You got that much work into these fucking trades with that big of a ticket writing? You better fucking have, you better be killing it when it goes your way. God, the spread's just... tight as shit here. Wow, look at this thing. Just rock bottom at 7:30. So, markets here coming up at 7:30. Everything doing the tighten up here. 5 minutes. 5 minutes to the bottom of the hour. High impact clock coming into the opening. The rest of the week. Wow, it's so quiet down here. Market, man. What an amazingly... Okay. So I got these in this demo, Trader's Way demo. I'm able to run about 30% more scripts because I can put my orders in super tight and literally scalp really close to the market because it's a very tight spread. If the spread tightens up, my limits fill. See, if I lay a grid of limits at different prices, like a 30K, for half an hour, that's 10 pips deep and 15 pips deep and just canvas a whole area. When the market comes down and the spread tightens up, I don't need a spread indicator. See, that's the magic of limits. I don't need to fucking wait till the spread's tight and pull the trigger at the market. Because when you pull the trigger at the market, even your EA is going to be like, oh boy, slippage. Yeah, I know, because your EA looked at the spread. By the time it gets the ticket out, there's got to be a lag. Oh, that's why they invented high-frequency trader, simpleton. Don't you understand? They're running really short wires. Those wires that are real short, optical wires. You know what that means, simpleton? That means like light. Yeah, like Clorox and light. Yeah, like that cure they got for the Corona beer. I hear Corona's coming out with like a Clorox flavor. There's going to be people making so much money how they were duped into this shit. You died from the flu, did you? Oh, I'm so sorry. You don't understand. It's really bad and deadly. See, did you ever have the flu? Who doesn't think they're dying? What the fuck? Last time I had the flu, I was like, dude, here. You can have all these things I don't like. I'm putting it in my will right now. yeah, I'm gonna will you my EAs that I built. Ones that didn't make no money. Well, yeah, those two. Everything, because I love everybody so much. I should just become a preacher, the forex preacher, right? So you have like dearly beloved. I think I did that once to ICT. I was mocking him, like some. Thank you, Jesus, for those pips. Yeah, the Jesus, the pimp, the pimp Jesus. Something, I don't know. I was working on a Corona restaurant today. I figure you have a Corona menu. You know, I would call it the pandemic restaurant. So whatever pandemic's currently in fashion, would you like to sit in our bird flu room? Yeah, can I get a side of Corona with that that taco? Hey, it's Cinco de Mayo Day, so everybody grab your tequila. I'm sure the Gematria people are all over this. 5/5/2020. Looks very, very dangerous numbers. But yeah, now what? It's very quiet. Look at the daily charts. Well, I go to the bigger time frame, and don't you know you got to start on the big time frames first? And this guy had this last video I was watching. It's too funny. I had to play it at like 1 3/4 speed, and he's talking about the title of the videos, where the banks want to move the markets to. The banks. They're not people, they're banks. Dude, these are goobers. Can't you see it? Fauci. Well, we built this model, you see. I know that was your retirement account, and you thought you'd have that business, didn't you? Oh, no. No, we're scientists, you see. You ever see that movie Adrenaline Strain? Here, son, let me show you something. It's a plague. Do you know what the plague is? I think that it doesn't help to call it the plague. It's a trigger word. You mean like, is that like the rats were carrying that shit around on their backs, the fleas on the rats? Oh my God. You gotta look at that chart. You're gonna tell me that well, supply and demand here kind of happened quick, didn't it? Oh, and then there's another part of the video where he says, we don't know how long. He goes, how long do you think that's going to take? Now, you do think this, everybody makes this mistake, I think. Let's hope, right? We're all humans, right? We make this mistake sometimes thinking stuff, harebrained shit like, well, I drew a trend line. This is what Michael Norman talks about. I drew a trend line. Let me show you the magic of a trend line. It's going up, son. If it's going up, it's going up. I mean, there's just no way around it, okay? And I'm very bullish on this. And I bought right here. And I don't know what happened. My buddy said, oh, no, I got it inside information. My buddy works at a bank. And he said, I think it's going up. Did you really? Okay. Anybody ever get burned? I would say I did. So I went to a place, and they traded options, futures options, on currencies, like just straight out. The D-Marks was franc. Here you go. $250 for an option. So I don't know how much. Maybe it was $50 commission. I'm not sure what their commission was. It could have been $200, and the option was $50. I don't know. So these guys were clearing through some Chicago bank. Oh, they're trading on the like mini contracts or something. And the guy that was trading my account was supposedly a member of Mensa. That's like this, well, I'm really smart society. I'm smarter than you, can't you see? What are you, a farmer? Bloomberg, Farmers for Bloomberg. So, I'm buying the euro right now. Please hold. We're placing your order, sir. How many Bitcoins you want me to get you now? God, this Bitcoin thing just blows my mind because I'm parking the money there and I'm like, God, I'm actually up on just parking money. Maybe I should just stay in this. And I feel like I'm like I got in the wrong cab or something. Is this the cash cab? Because I'm like looking at this thing fluctuating. I go, God, let's not put too much money in there. I don't really like watching. I guess this is what's nice about having your money in a bank is that you don't open it up and go, what the fuck? Somebody put money in the account? Or somebody stole some money? They stole about 10%. Can you imagine being only in about 100 Bitcoin when it crashed going, woof. Man, I'm glad I didn't park too much money. Yeah, you're parking money in a Bitcoin, dude. This is risky. No, risky is trading with high leverage. Not if you got a calculator. But people don't like math. That's why the Corona thing was able to just clear all the toilet paper off the shelves because people can't do math. Even today, today we have lockdown as a lifestyle. It's the new normal. Yeah, the thing is that, really? No, that's your new normal. Dude, I've been completely abnormal my whole life. So for me, a new normal would just be kind of boring, Can't we have a new abnormal? Can't we just go abnormal? New normal? Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to see Johnny's going to talk and he's going to be the class representative. And then when you'll have meets amongst yourselves, we're going to go home and get drunk because we're school teachers. I can speak from experience that sometimes school teachers are getting hammered. So here, I'm buying more euro. Trying to make 20 pips, 60 pips. So I'm trying to crank up this account and then flip it tonight on 1Ks. So far, so good. I was in about 300K for a little bit, got out, and then the account took a severe hit. I was all the way down to like $600. Starting with 1,000, but I'm at 1,600 now, so I just have to get one more price pulse or one more up move, retrace. From what I'm putting in 50 pip stops though. So what I did was I put in limits, and I'm willing to take a hit of $300 to make another 600. So I'm buying at the market heavily, and then I'm going to put limits in that are like 2 pips deep and 3, 8 hours. Now that it's Asia, I'm going to put in the 13 pips deep for 8 hours in case I fall asleep, and I want to have all these tickets in there to capture this possible sell-off. So I'm accommodating. See, all the trick is execution. I've accommodated for the possibility we could go down. Why should I get so attached to just one trade? I don't trade this stuff, but the robot's trading it. Look at this thing is going to go through the floor here. The dollar, look at this, like it's doomed. Look at this thing, it's hellbent. Oh, now that could possibly melt all the way down. Free fall city. So if that's the case, I would definitely put a grid in, but I'd have to get it so wide. My robot's trading that right now with a really big grid. But see this cavern here? So this is something to pay attention to, is now that there's no volatility, the most looming factor for this currency is that once we took out this, and you could say, well, that's the Williams fractal winning trade. Well, not really, but I'm sure it is on the daily. But really, the ultimate would have been to sell this fake breakout on the weekly. So if you're breakout trading these big bars, which I would reversal trade the big bars. So if you see a big bar like this, instead of trading the breakout, you're going to buy the new lows here, sell the new highs. Whereas if it's a really small one, right, you can't really stand in front. If you stand in front of these two guys, if you try to buy, sell the wicks on here, it's really not even a good trade. There's not a lot of pips. It's not a range trade. And when it breaks out here, and it does this, that was a great trade, right? That's 120 pips, but that's a weekly breakout, weekly. When it comes down here, wow, the buyers come in, don't they? Into that. And the heavy buyers come into the deepest recesses, which is here. Holy shit, right? Is that a good entry? In 1 week, you made X. Where the diligent trend trader, maybe he bought this pullback and he's riding along, and he goes, oh, dude, look at how much money I made. Like, Like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Yeah, but dude, there's people doing all these other trades around you. And whether the banks are trapping people up here or they trap themselves, because according to commitment of traders, yeah, there's too many fucking people long. Well, the commercials, I mean, I used to do this shit with the fucking commercials, and these people send me these newsletters. Well, this is a report commitment of traders. I used to buy this thing called, well, there's one called Barron's, and then there was one that was, I think it was a commitment of traders report, really thin paper, like pressed out, like tissue paper. And I had historical charts, all this shit. Dude, it's $50 a month, came in the mail without anything set on there. But I looked at all that shit. I was like, this is all ridiculous. There's no fucking money in here. When do I, what I call a broker now? How do I put the trade on? I mean, how do I get the money in the accounts? And, because we wrote checks back then. So we got to look at that check first, so make sure it's okay. Got a purchase order for that? Yeah, Corona really did rattle their cage. So the silver lining of Corona is that now we're all free. Now the whole world's a ghetto. So everybody's the great equalizer. It's a level playing field, son. Can't you see what they did to it? Well, they put sand in the playing field. That's what I'm talking about. So they put sand in your engine. They hit the pause button. Look at this great breakout trade. It just occurred to me, breakout trading does work after all. Why don't you just wait for this shit, dude? You just have to wait a couple of weeks, a couple of years for that entry. Yeah, this is kind of tough here. But this is like, never get filled on your sell limits here, though. But your buy limits, nice fills, trap trading that. But look at this kahuna wick. Boy, oh boy, that is a bruiser. I'm sorry, that's some volatility. So, if you're a trend trader right now, you be trading small, right? Because otherwise, how are you not getting your ass kicked? We're trend traders. We are. How's that trend trading working out for you? Well, I had trend here for a little bit and then just gave up on me. I don't know what the fuck happened. Now, is it just me, or does this look like a downtrend, uptrend? So what's the trend again? Well, I use the 50 EMA. Dumb shit, I told you. Why do you think we use 100 MA? God damn, did I show you everything? That's a baseline. We're sailors above that. I know, but what about, we don't talk about that. Now, well, if I get in here, where do I get out? We don't want to talk about that either. We're waiting for the moving average going this way. I'm going to hold the trade. Actually, you're up on the trade. What am I talking about? You get out whenever you want, son. But are you honestly going to tell me you put I put 40 standard lots on there and I just said, that's a great trade. And I was up so big here and I thought, I don't know. And then I just got out here and we just made this much. Who has not done that? Like, if you haven't done that, you just never traded enough, demo or real. And hopefully you're trading demo right now so you know what it's like. In other words, you just get used to the fact that it's going to be work. Like, how hard are you going to work? Are you really going to get out a fib tool and tell me, I queued up this trade in the demo? Fuck no. You're like, dude, I got what a fib is. Where's some real money? Like, who's not going to do that? Maybe we are going to test a fib in real time. But why bother? It's fucking harebrained shit. There's no fucking way it's coming to the 618 and it's going to turn around. With a 10 pip stop. Let me guess. If fib works, how wide a stop can I run on Fibonacci? Well, everybody's going to tell you, well, it depends on what time frame you're using it on. Well, no shit. All right? You just blew up that trade plan too. It's risk per ticket. I mean, I don't know why you could think you can avoid that. So it's how big you're trading too. Got to chase this fucking thing now. See, now I feel like I got to buy more because I'm not in big enough. I want to get into 3 standard lots right now. So I got to chase the euro. All right, so I'm putting scalps in here though. I'll take 100K off the table if it goes up 10 pips, 15 pips here. Unfortunately, I don't have that count in front of me. It's on my tablet, but it's the looks like Exxon Mobil's coming back to the floor here that we took out. See, this is support. We call that support. We took that out. Look out. Look out, son. Stand back, Jack, because that puppy is going down. That's Exxon Mobil. Now, that would have been a place to pepper limits 10 pips apart all the way down. You're still underwater on some of that. Euro's going to go nuts to the upside. And so we came and retested that whole. We came all the way back to the starting gate. Now, this is another big heartbreaker. Is that when you come back to the starting gate, there's this feeling of like, huh, okay. So that was the stop punt, so to speak. We go ripping up. Sellers coming up here, right above this. This is critical. We know this is critical. This was supply zone. I told you that magic trader. You tell me all about that supply and demand zone. I know, but my question is, did you sell heavy on this one? You could have sold into this, and there's probably even a scalp built into that for a little bit. If you sold good into that, and then you're like, oh, dude, when it gets above here, you know how much we're going to sell that. Oh, yeah, but you still had to endure 30 pips of wick. You could have put it a 3K up here. 1, 2, 3, 3K. You had a 10K ready to fill. They filled 3K. Is that a good trade? I'd say it is. The buyers come in here, scalpers, people cashing out. This bottom becomes a top almost exactly. Not quite make it back. That's why I'm not gonna. If I'm a seller, I'm gonna sell at the market on the 4-hour chart every time it goes up. Okay, I'm trading two styles: market and limit. If it's up, I sell at the market. Sell at the market. Sell, sell, sell. Okay. These get to be like they didn't make much money, and these made money. But this is what Ryan Brown's doing. But I'm doing it at the market, based on the fact that it's up. Whereas his robot's probably selling like this up into it. I'm thinking. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, he's gonna right because this is grid trading it, right? So here's the why this is better than what he's doing. He's just gonna go grid. He's gonna throw a grid out, right? So if the moving average crosses over, he's gonna contrarian sell it. Not to say that when it gets to here in his scheme, if it could sell, it had enough money in the account to sell to here. When it gets to here, it gets out of everything, right? You see his cash out. It takes a smaller zero off the table here, and it takes this big winner off the top. Right, that's true, right? Okay, I'm going to put some amazing risk 9 to make 9 to make 70. Here I got some risk 20 to make 60s I'm putting in. I just want to load this up before 9 o'clock comes, so I can scalp out of something. Especially if I make it up $500, I'm getting out just because I'm up 500. I'm not going to wait for those targets because the market's going to go up and down. It's just going to do this shit. I mean, if you're up on a trade, right? So if you're up like $300 and you're like, well, that's pretty fucking good. Take it because you can just get back in it because you can see by all this price action that if you got a trade to buy in limits over a 4-hour period, look at all the buys. Buy. You buy all these plunges and you dump. So it just doesn't matter. All this shit, you just trade it from a completely limit grid, but I'm doing it by pressing a button. So I'm saying, I'm going to put in a grid here, heavy, and I'm picking like the next 40 pips, I'm going to put a dense pack in here, and it's already scalped back to here. As soon as the market does the first bounce, and I don't have to ride it for some glorious move, right? I can just range trade that. Yeah, I can see this thing once they tag that, big buyers there, and once they trap this breakout or even this, once they fill that void, right? That's over. The aha moment is there for everyone to experience that this is not a breakout. It's not this Williams fractal. You're not going to buy that. That's the last, because the reason why you don't really want to buy that is because it already fulfilled this. And when it got to here, it wasn't the bankers tricking you to thinking it's going to go up and they're really going to take it down. And even if it is, you've got to have a trade plan for that. If you're going to claim you're a banker, if you want to wear an institutional hat, if you think that's who's the winning team, then if you have to do that, do that. Put on your institutional hat and go, I'm going to trap some retail goobers that think it's going up. I know they draw the trend line here. Watch me trap them. So if that works, yeah, you're going to sell this. You're going to sell heavily this whole zone here, right? This cup. You're going to sell the cup to the retail because they buy the handle. You can find a flaw in every trading strategy. What's your strategy? Well, everyone is works at a certain time and place. They all have their times they work, right? Because based on the size and based on the area you're going to cover. Because if you're going to do it at the market trade, it's obvious that after it goes up for 8 hours, it's up 4 hours. You'd sell. It's up another 4 hours. You sell. You don't really. I mean, this wick could have taken you out, though. Yeah, with a tight stop. Yeah, you're never going to see that ratio that is obvious here, right? 4 hours up into the floor, you sell. It's just obvious pivot that's already been laid out, because once they crush this, right? Anybody that bought this thinking he was going to the moon, well, when it comes back to here, the hedge fund algos or the people that think like that are getting the fuck out, because that's the pivot. So when it came back to here, the people that bought here thinking, it's going to start a new move. I'm just saying that maybe there's one guy out there thinking that, and you could think, well, that's the institutions doing that. I don't know. Does it matter? It's everybody doing that. Enough, maybe institutions and retail traders, and maybe that's why it's a profound move. Like, look at this thing just drifting in the darkness. Like, it's above here. Like, really? This is really going to keep going up? Really? Goodbye. And does it eventually go higher? Can you tell me, well, I was right. See, it went up 30 pips. Can't you do math? It's went up 40 pips. I bought here. Tell me I don't know how to trade. So you mean to tell me you took this drawdown? Well, sure did. Real men trade like this. So, sit down. Let me show you how real men trade. I gotta chase this thing like a goober now. I'm looking for a severe up move. So I want to see what this account looks like. Humanly traded. Using those humans. I heard they outlawed humans. They're costing too much money. Taxpayers are going broke. Humans are getting all sick and everything, getting the corona. Now look at you. Told you no kids. Now look at you. So this was the obvious buy here, right? I'm sure everybody figured this one out. It's one of them supply zones there. Nice trade. I'm getting the hang of this. So yeah, it's kind of hard to see it, I guess, at first when they cleaned that out. But this was the low. Oh, because they knew I put my stop in there. Damn tootin', that's what they did to you, son. See, you bought there, you thought you're all clever, and you're riding that for the moon, and you never moved your stop, and they came all the way back, and they bit you on that. That's the bankers. That dirty tricks by the bank. Institutional guys sit back there, and they just go, let's go fuck with some retail traders today. What are you doing, Joe? I call my other institutional traders. Let's see if we can't gang up on them retail guys today. Trick them, make them think the market's going up when it's really going down. How we do that? Well, it's not going to be easy, because we got to get real heavy and just force it up and down and hope there's some retail guy there that's getting beat up so he'll sign up for our course on how to not get trapped in a trade. See, it's a deep conspiracy all the way from the guys that sell courses. See, that they play on both sides of the system. That looks like we're going up. So this would be an inverted hammer, right? Look at all this up and down action. It's like sex, this market. Look at bang, 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 bang. Oh boy, look at that drama. My God, pretty busy on the 1 hour. So I'm holding a long position here. I'm waiting for the stop hunt or the clearing of these highs, or we're going to tank and they're going to stop me out. But just trying to make it to for the next hour. So all we got to do is sweep up here and I'll be out of quite a bit. I'll be out of at least 2.5 standard lots there. That's not, don't really trade much bigger than that in Asia because like this here was quite the, then this would be considered a trap trade, right? This is Asia. Here's a room they built and they're going to go, which door are they going out? It made you think you're going out this door. Nope. How could you make money from that trade though? Is to have sell limits up here at all times and have buy limits down here at all times. And so you might lose a leg if you have a sell limit here and they fill you and they keep going up and you have a stop here, you're risking that much. Same thing here. If you buy limit down here and you're expecting it to go up, you made money, right? On that trade also. So if you look at this, so the truth is, it's like this Corona thing. People are just befuddled by it. I think it really drill down on this thing. If you had a buy limit here, they filled it, and I'm pretty sure they went up here before they went down. Because I'm pretty sure, because on the 15-minute chart, I know we go up here, and then we go down. So for the scalp of that, the whole measly 30 pips, you made money, and then you had the sell limit here, which you got filled on that. If you traded the inversion of the breakout, of which way are they going to leave the room? Buy stop here, sell stop here. That doesn't matter either, because if you have a buy stop here with a stop here, right, where this other ticket picks up, you end up short. Well, you'd have to have 2 sell stops down here. Otherwise, you just end up flat and you just lose this much. Whereas if you bought on a limit down here and you rode it to here and you have a sell limit there, then you're trapped in a winning hedge. You're up 20 pips on the hedge, you lose a leg as it breaks out and goes down deeper. But then you'd say, well, why don't I put a sell stop here, a buy stop here, a sell limit here, and then it gets very, that's completely valid, because if they have different ratios of different targets and different stops, it makes sense, because overall you're left maybe short 3 and stopped out at 2 long, and you're still getting a better trader. Maybe it's going to be short on 8 and long on 2 that gets stopped out, and that's going to be way better. But that's just the way that it unfolded. And all this stuff here, right? Redistribution, whatever you want to call it, sideways, sell stops here. So he's saying, well, you wait for them to leave the room, see which way they go. Okay. If you wait for them to leave the room here and see which way they go, you're like, well, looks like they trapped me. And how big a room are you in? If you're in the half-hour room, it's a whole different world, right? See, in the half hour, it's a buy. And there's more trading. So you buy every time it comes down here. You would have bought here and bought here. This is the dead cat bounce. You make money, then you buy, you make money, you buy, you make money. You kind of got to sell because of that. And you buy, you sell, you buy, you sell, you sell, you buy, you sell, you buy. And if the spread's not killing you, which is not really in this broker, too bad. The euro dollar, you get away with murder on this thing, because you could just be like, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. If you're up for that kind of trading in a half hour. That's nothing. Are you babysitting this thing? Are you really going to go through this thing? You come into Asia, it's all quiet, a little bit of a rally. This is the fake breakout of the Asian small range, just 20 pip range, really. Then a trap, and then we come back into fair value, or back into where it all started, and actually go beyond. And that's what really blows people's minds, just like that other move where you see the same thing in that up move, where there's this void left behind. There's a lot of interest in that if we ever get up there. And this supply and demand have been equalized. Equilibrium has been met, and there's no more supply there. So anytime it goes into a place, yeah, just cleaned it out. Cleaned it out. But it leaves behind a supply or demand zone. I'd actually say it's demanding the price to come back. It's got a supply, and it's being filled by people saying, "Oh, that's wow, what a great price." And who's pushing it up there, right? So all the buyers down here, they're like, "Oh, anything below here, I'm a buyer. Anything below here, I'm a buyer. Just give me tons of that." And this swift move down into it is just probably people, like I said, the order imbalance is really doing it. So this is the order imbalance is all this stuff back here. So all the buyers here, they rode that all the way till here and they cashed out. So those people are selling. You got new sellers. You got the void behind here. It's all sorts of reasons why. Okay, so we're starting to move here. So I'm going to ride this to here, and I'm going to cash out up into that. I do think there's going to be sellers above here. So how do you lay that out? Well, I'm trading about 230K that I put in one click at a time and some are limits. So the ideal system is pure limits. We don't have to babysit it. And the ideal system is a robot is throwing limits out. My ideal system. The markets come, the more violent the market gets, the wider the limits come in. So unfortunately with Ryan's bot, you have to set that to how many pips. It's going to be 7 pip grid. Is it going to martingale in at 2x? And so it's kind of clunky because you're setting these things out. They're kind of stupid. It's like, of course, it's not a really good analogy, but it'd be like if it canvassed a neighborhood and some robot knocked on every door and see if any of the ladies needed any more Jello shots or something. And the problem is that, after a while, they're going to be like, dude, you're just here. So canvassing the whole thing without putting it in, you want to hit the alcoholic girls up first, right? Because those are high probability hits, right? They're going to say, yeah, I can take a Jello shot. Sure. Can't believe you're asking. So yeah, I'm a buyer there, and look at all this constant hemming and hawing down this price and slam downs, and you have to go to the weekly charts. Aren't you? You're not a good student, are you? I can see that's a problem. You're not a good student. The magic trader. Holy Jesus. This guy. I'm surprised he didn't do the I'm waiting for one of his students to come and attack me. Do you know who you're talking about? He's worth $500 million. Dude, I don't care if he's worth $1 zillion. He's not trading. He's talking about supply and demand zones. Anybody can talk about that. And even if he traded demo, I'd be like, dude, wow, look at that. Look, he's trading that shit. So I'll trade. I'll trade for you here. I'll help you out, buddy. Here, 12-hour buy limit. Now that's pretty conservative trade. That's Eurodollar. You think we're going to fill on that? It looks like we're going to fill because I'm on the daily chart. You go to the 4-hour chart, you go, I don't know, man. I don't think that's going to fill. It could fill. So this is very conservative trading. Without duplicating that, I'm going to go to a 30-minute. Oh, that could fill, right? 30 minutes. Now look at it. Looks like it's not going to fill. They're not going to come back and pick me up in this ticket. So this is how I trade it. Like this, 30-minute limits. What else we got here? I'm going to have to put them all on one platform one day. Just like every fucking thing. I don't have a lot of stuff in here. Here's the, these are singles. Now this is very hard to blow up the account. This is risk 10 to make 12, 3 pips deep. Yeah, I'm going to put them in different pips deep, different times. Every click is a 1K. Pretty lowest trading. You really got to be at a place to let you trade high leverage. Otherwise, what's the point? Unless you're like Haystacks Calhoun, the magic trader with $200,000 making 45% a year. Selling a course for $170 a month. On supply and demand zones. You got to identify them on the chart. My newsletter is going to describe that. It comes with the... Yes, it does come with a decoder ring. I thought you'd never ask. It comes with a Fibonacci horoscope chart, and it also comes with a... Are you sitting down? A logarithmic compass. There, I said it. I know what you're thinking. Thinking kind of sounds like snake oil. Kind of sounds like a feel good, like a cult. Well, it is in a way. Forex cult. 1 minute past. We got 1 minute to go till we have 5 minutes past 8 o'clock. And we're on our way to make at least 15 pips here on this euro dollar. That's going to be my big trade. It looks like my moving average. We're above the baseline on my S&P 500 chart here. Making moves up into the sell zone there. Everybody tagged and bagged that one. Yeah, what else we got here? DAX. Looks like everybody cashed out of their DAX trade after shitting their pants into this. So it came back to this wick and everybody's like, I'm out. Oof. Looking all drifty and just anything could happen. Anything could happen. But I did think we were going to make it back to this floor and everybody's going to bail, and they did. And that you can see that. I talked about that trade, son. I called that trade up. Now, I did not trade that trade because I don't trade the DAX, but I think we can kind of figure out what happened there. And that game's over. Now it's all drifty-wifty. And this is a weekly chart, and I wouldn't even think about trading anything but the 4-hour chart on that. Because the 4-hour chart, I know I can make more money from just putting in dumb shit trades like, well, we're going to buy down here, see? In this supply zone. I took the ICT course. Here's the deeper one here. So you get buy way more there. I buy on the way to that. I'm going to give away all the ICT. These are trade blocks. These ain't supply zones. I can't believe you're saying that. See, once they hit that one, then the scalpers came in, fulfilled that. And now we got sellers up here. And we got buyers down here, go lower. So I'm buying down there, I'm selling up there. And I would just put a basket of tickets in there, and I just like, hey, let's put more at the top. So let's sell more up here. Let's sell more down here. Right? Because we know this is all critical buy zone forever. In fact, if it comes down here, you're going to buy more. So this magic trader guy's like, well, come down here, it's guaranteed buy. Dude, all the way down, it's a guaranteed buy to me. I don't know why you're so fucking pricist. You're racist about price, Stupid. What the fuck, get all nitpicky? I have to be nitpicky because we know where the market... Look, like I told you, this thing's going to reject that flood. Crude screaming its head off there. It ain't stopping. Ain't no top becoming bottom here. I'm sorry, big boys pushing it back up. The big boys are real big this year. Institutional traders, man. You have to explain everything. So that's that bottom, that top, that did not become resistance, did it now? And neither did this bottom. Ain't no top. Market said, bye-bye. You see the market say bye-bye to that? And this is why no nonsense doesn't get it. Well, I thought this was supposed to be resistance. You told me bottoms become tops. So you sold here? Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what you said. Okay. Then you don't get it. There's something harder driving. It's this. You can stand in front of that void? Did you stand in front of this void? Did you sell down here at confirmation, really? Honestly, I did. Don't tell anybody. Bottoms become tops. Perfectly here. I would say when the market's moving quickly, yeah, it does kind of work, right? But not here. Look at the bottom become a top. And so this is another one of those things. And here, does it become a top here? Yeah, well then which one do I do, right? It became a top here. Why didn't it become a top here? Why can't I use this rule here? Because I think this hole left behind is so enormous that once it starts to fill, it's just like a fucking, I mean, really? This because it did fill this hole here. And this is a bridge too far. There's no way it was, I mean, there was not no way, because it could. But the log jam here, oh man, then it made another attempt too at that price. We're here, this is a tighter consolidation. This became a range, the story became about this. And the trap up in there. It's constantly unfolding, but yeah, it's probably going to go screaming. There'll be sellers here. Yeah, plenty of times cash out here. But that's a fuck of a move. Look at that. Almost $10. Well, $10 a barrel from that. Pull back hard. Ram right up. Wow. Never in your life. I mean, step back, Jack. If you're used to a 10 pip stop, these things are on fire. So, look at this thing ranging. What else? Okay, yeah, this is going through the floor. But I would be buying all the way down to this, so I am going to buy all the way down. So here, this is the robots throwing in the limits for me. I think, here, I'm going to do it myself here. So I'm going to go with the single, I'm going to pure singles in. And I don't care, I'm just going to put them at the same price here. So this is an example of how I could get into about 50K, and I can pick the depth here is I'm going to go for long-lasting tickets, 12 hours, because I don't want to do another 12 hours, 45 pip stop. I mean, for 20 pip stop to make 45. So it may seem like peanuts, but trust me, putting 80K in like this really deep, and of course 12 hours, 1 day. If you put in write scripts that say 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and they last all day, and you have different, I'd have different stops for each one, for each 10 pips, but then if that's true, for each 5 pips, I would have a slightly different. One would be a scalp, one would be a swing, something like that. Because if you wait for the total retracement, you're going to make back anything you lost on your tight stops. It's just how many tickets you're going to put in there. How long do they last? And that is where I suppose the work comes, the hard work. Here's 12 hours, like this kind of odd stop. 33 to make, this is a bad ratio too, 33 to make 24. And every 10 pips the market drops, or every hour of the market, every 4 hours the market, or 6 hours, you keep dropping that same script. And that's what this robot's doing. It keeps continuously dropping in a certain schedule. That same ticket. Anyways, that's my rant.